Hey guys, this is Canyon. I thought it would be fun to go through some of my old artwork as a little, not a series, I guess. Well, I guess a series of videos going through all of my old artwork, starting from when I really started drawing a lot, what I was primarily drawing when I was younger, and kind of how I developed throughout the ages to get to not the ages, but developed throughout the years artistically to get to where I am right now. So what I have in front of me here is something I am really glad that I still have and did not get rid of when I was younger. This is my folder that I have full of my comics that I drew or wrote all by myself when I was like I don't know, between 6th to like 8th grade, right when I was just starting to begin with artwork, started really to learn that I really did enjoy to draw a lot. I've been drawing since I was in kindergarten, but this is when I really started to learn, hey, I actually do enjoy this a lot. Now, I didn't start to actively pursue any kind of career or I didn't think that I would have any future work in art at the time. It was just a big hobby for me. A lot of my friends also like to make comics, and so I was like, I want to make some comics. It'd be fun. I loved watching. Like I was on a bunch of little game websites, a lot of Flash games. I was really big into Flash games back then, and that was how I would spend a lot of my time when I was younger. And I sunk so many hours into like what was it, stickpage.com or oneMoreLevel.com or Addicting Games, Newgrounds, all of that. I spent so much time there, and it's a huge part of my upbringing and my childhood for me. And so a lot of those were inspirations for comics that I did. And as you will see as we read through these, I ripped a lot of jokes. I took a couple designs, but I tried to make it my own. And so we'll start here at the beginning, and we won't go through all of these today. I'm going to go through and do like a summary today of all the series, and then I think that I'll do like individual videos going through each little series. So if any of you played frequently on like addictinggames.com or any of the like a stick figure video or flash game type websites, then you will have known of Stickman Sam, who is that little he's a little stick figure guy who's got the crazy hairstyle, and he runs around flipping, jumping on things, and I love that game. I still do, and it was a ton of fun for me, and I thought it would be fun to just completely take his design and make him my own character. So I did, and I called it Stickman Sam, very original. And throughout my comic or drawing career, I changed my little company name so many times. So Stickman Sam by Stickman Industries, #1, and this one was titled Training. So typically these things, I just did them all in my composition notebook, and I would just keep them all in there, and I'd rip them out, and I'd put them in a folder or something. Sometimes I just leave them in there, but I would just divide them into these blocks, and I would do them that way. Now there's really crude, poorly drawn things with awful, I don't know, it's just so bad, but and terrible grammar, but I love them so much, and it was a lot of fun for me, and it was a really good way for me to just invest in doing something productive, and just I don't know, just to create something when I was younger. It was a good thing for me to get into at the time. So brief overview of all of my series here. Stickman Sam, it follows the life of Sam, who says here, and I'll go through the first issue here, but so here. There is nothing to watch. I'm bored, as he sits in front of the television. The next panel. I'm so bored. 5 minutes later, it appears that Sam has fallen asleep, and poof, there is a wizard that has appeared. Who? I'm a wizard. You need training. Poof, poof. This is some masterclass visual effects that I've got going on here. Hello. Welcome to training. And he is now white. He was apparently black, but I don't even know. Hello, welcome to training. Huh? Why do I need training? Because you have been summoned to help. Okay. Here's your gun. Yay. Now remove the safety. What's that? My gosh, have you ever used a gun before? No, please don't kill me. So this is pretty violent, I suppose, but right there, as he points all the way down to the safety. Who do I kill? Dude, this is target practice, not war. Oh, okay. And I believe that... oh, wow, it even continues on to the back. This is the first comic I ever wrote in my life. So, he said, shoot the target. Okay, and as you see here, he shoots pretty much everywhere except the target. In fact, his bullets do seem to bend out of the way, defying physics, simply to avoid letting this man hit the target. So, next panel, 30 days later, apparently. Face it, you suck. And there is just a ring of impressions and bullet holes around everywhere but the target. He's got the gun all the way up next to it. That's really funny. Actually, sorry, I was just looking at it in person. But he has the gun all the way close to the target here. So 1 day later, very good, and he somehow has a smaller target. He's blindfolded and got a bullseye. It only took him 1 day. Now here is professional level redaction. Did not want 4 panels. That was way too much work. So again, redaction. What do I do next? Dodge the obstacles. What obstacles? Haha. As Sam is completely crushed. 13 months later. So this is clearly, drop my pen. Clearly a huge investment of time for Sam. Not even questioning why he's been in this room for such a long time. I wonder I was paying rent. 13 months later, though, he is able to jump out of the way. I wonder how many times he was horribly maimed. Yay! Your training is done. Woot! So training, it appears, consisted of shooting a target, learning where the safety is on a gun, and dodging would appear to be closing walls. Look at this, though. I actually didn't notice this. This is whiteout. So apparently something was so horrible that I couldn't even scribble it out and had to completely cover over it. I don't know how it could get any worse than what it already is, but goodbye, grasshopper. Poof. The end of part 1. So yeah, that's that would appear to be Stickman Sam issue number 1. It's pretty legendary stuff. It's pretty great. I ended up, I believe I made 8 more. Yes, 8 more issues of Series 1, as I called it. And through the series, let me see if I still called it. I changed little logos. I changed, yeah, the logos and everything, even up to the final one. Oh wait, Stickman Sam. Huh. This right here was not my drawing right here, these 3 panels. This drawing is not, actually. These 3 were drawn by my friend Eric. I wonder why he did that. I don't remember. But so this in pencil was drawn by him. This also was drawn by him, but I penned over it, I suppose. Maybe this was like a little collaboration. And then this was drawn by him as well, including this. Now, these were all drawn by me. I actually remember the day, I don't remember the date, but the day that I drew this one, I was in my younger brother's bedroom, sitting on the floor in a chair that was, it was just on the floor, and I was drawing this while he was playing drums, or he was doing something, but I do remember that day. And I remember smelling the smell of this ink was so strong, and I liked it a lot. It was, I don't know, it's a nostalgic smell for me, ink. And, oh, yes, 8. And so it ends here. I won't spoil the ending because we'll do a series review on Stickman Sam. Following Stickman Sam, I ended up doing a couple different little one-off series. This one was called Kablooey. I made apparently 2 issues of Kablooey. We'll review those separately. And then Kimono Joe, the Stick Samurai, which we will also save for later. Following Stickman Sam Series 1, we ended up going to Series 2, where I changed my little company name from Stickman Productions to Ring of Fire Comics. I don't know why. Probably because I heard Adam Lambert sing Ring of Fire for the first time on American Idol, and I really liked it. So that continued for a while. And then I only did one issue of Series 3. Series 2 had an additional 8. Issues. And so Stickman Sam was by far my favorite thing to work on. I put a lot into it, even though I only ended up having, I believe, like 16 to 18 issues itself. But I did, Sam was in a band. His band's name was The Twigs because he's a stickman. I had all kinds of, well, I pretty much just ripped that straight from the actual game. Well, I think I took this from the game, Squiggle, or Little, because these guys would be running around. But I ended up making more. The Fire Squiggle, Water Squiggle. This guy throws fire, F-I-Y-A, Fire Squiggle. And then there was Dark Lord Squiggle. I don't actually know if that is something that's in the games. This guy apparently had lightning. Then there was another character that I introduced. His name was Super Stretch Man, and I actually wanted to turn that into a video game. So Super Stretch Man had arms that would super stretch, and he would stick, and so he could stick to walls. He could kind of swing like Spider-Man. Hands and feet are suction cups. Hold for 5 seconds. Oh, interesting. There was health that you could have, health and coins. He had a helper whose name was Dude, and they were a team. Nice. So yeah, we'll look into all of that further. Let me see what else is important here. Not important. That's funny. Fireman's Convention. Be smart, don't fart. So he's saying not to fart into a match because you'll set it on fire. That's really funny, actually. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I guess I'm a king of comedy or something like that. Yeah, so we'll move on a little further here past all the Stickman Sam stuff because I'll go through all of that as when I review. Oh, here's Stickman Sam Series 2, Episode 1. I'm gonna put this in front here. Yeah, I wrote little pages, all kinds of stuff for that. Over here. We'll also that aside, go here. Now put this to the side. Let me get organized here really quick. Sorry about that. The next series that I ended up doing was based on a starfish, and his name was Blue Lightning. Now this was the first like original thing. Actually, you know what? No, I took some stuff from this from some designs from SpongeBob. Like they have a little island, and he's a starfish. So, and it happens under the sea. So clearly influenced by SpongeBob, but I didn't blatantly rip a name or anything. So it felt more original. to me. So Blue Lightning, Savior of the Stars, the Super Mega Starfish, by Canyon Green. Savior, Canyon Green. I felt the need to sign it twice, in 2 different ways. We will, anyways. Blue Lightning. Yeah, it's about a super mega starfish, and he lives under the sea. He fights bad guys. Now this is very reminiscent and brings back a lot of memories, and was based on both SpongeBob, but also drew a lot of reference from like old Batman, like the Adam West Batman show. In that, that's how it kind of resolved itself. So I only made 2 issues of that, and we'll review those 2 in a separate time. One of the ones that I think that I spent the most, that I invested a lot in, well, not invested a lot because there's not much here, but I was really proud of at the time, was a series that I came up with. It was a new comic by Ring of Fire Comics, Versus by Canyon Green. Sorry about that. Would be Versus by Canyon Green, a new comic by Ring of Fire Comics. TM, trademark. Now, I made 2 of these volumes. Now, the plot for this was kind of like just a battle scene. It would be Pyro, and this was all drawn in charcoal. I don't know why I did that. The next one was drawn in pen. So it was Pyro versus Wetman, and I would kind of put them together, see how it would play out, how they would fight each other, and let's begin. That was that one was a lot of fun. That'll be fun to read through with you guys. The next one that I really enjoyed making when I was younger, The Amazingly Fantastical Adventures of Star Command and Penguin to the Max, Episode 1 by Star Command, with another change in my name. I ended up naming my cat Star Command. He is still alive. This one was, I think I took a lot of inspiration from like Newground animations and other Flash game character designs for these guys, but this was kind of during my like LOL random phase, which everyone's kind of ashamed of. But it really, it also took inspiration from the YouTube series Unforgotten Realms, Unforgotten Realms, that little animation series about the guys who played Dungeons and Dragons, and so that was fun. I'll look forward to going through this one, the end of episode 1. I never made an episode 2. This stuff took a lot of time for me to think about, and even though it looks like really cruddy and stuff, it took me a long time to kind of work up to creating it, because I would draw a lot of pictures and stuff, and it took me a long time. It took me a long time. Anyways, the next series, almost done here with all the series that I did, and realistically I didn't do, there are 2 more here. The next one that I had more of a story to it. The first one that actually had a lot of actual story and action that I was really proud of. I showed my brothers, sisters. I was like, oh my god, you guys got to read this. It's awesome. Would be called Stickland by, again, Ring of Fire Comics. Now, this one happened, I think, before Penguin and Star Command. This was one of the last comics that I made when I was in middle school. This one came about like 9th grade, I think. And so this one, Stickland, was about, we'll go through just number 1 here. So he's running, chasing after a car, and then skirt. What's that? I don't want to die like this. He is falling off of a skyscraper. I could help you with that if you say please. And he just pulls out what appears to be a 50 cal out of nowhere. And he thinks to himself, should I really kill this suicidal man? Man or maniac? Suicidal maniac. And he has his little shoulder angel and demon, poof, Shoot him. Let him fall. Don't kill him. Shoot, fall. Shoot, fall. And on the next page, so he says, shut up, and then he shoots his shoulder angel and devil, and says, we'll be back. Blam, 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 blam. What do you think of that? Ah. Oh no, I just killed my conscience. Ah. Whoops. Splat. Ouch. So it appears the Suicidal Man didn't die. This is not a terrible ending, but yeah, it goes... That was just a little introduction to the character. He ends up somehow... Lightsabers become involved. There's an evil clown. I don't know what I was thinking when I made this one, but I really loved making it. That was one of my favorites. More Stickman Sam stuff. And then the final thing that I think I made, this one was made beforehand. Kind of, I wanted to go further into this. This one I think was really heavily based on another friend of mine's comic, the Legacy series that he ended up making. It was called The Quest, and this one is very similar to Stickman Sam, but it's just about a guy who goes on a quest. Another wizard pops up, and he goes to medieval land, and he has to do medieval stuff. Never did anything further with that. We'll go through that. Kind of do maybe a bulk video about these things, but yeah. Anyways, that's it's basically it for the introduction. I know it was almost 20 minutes long here, but of all the comics that I made when I was younger, I made a lot more. I didn't keep all of them, which I wish that I did. Some of the ones I just didn't like, but these are the ones that I'm happy that I did keep because they mean a lot to me, and a lot of people don't have their old stuff that they used to draw, or they got rid of it, and I'm happy that I have this. We'll also go through, I actually have my friend Eric's comics, and we will read through his, maybe. His were better than mine. It just reminds me that I told him I would send them to him one day, and I should probably send them to him. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you will subscribe and like, and let me know what you guys would like to see on the channel. After we get done looking through all of these comics, which will maybe be 1 or 2 different videos that I'll spread those out over, we will go through all of my old artwork from starting when I was a child to about the time where I was doing this. When I was drawing all of these comics and stuff, I was also painting traditionally, did watercolor and acrylic, and we will go through all of those things, and I will show you again my journey from where I came from with my artwork to where I developed to now, which is in my eyes starkly different. Hopefully it's actually good. So thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate you hanging out, and thank you so much. Have a great day.